Yeah, so Bush is leaving and Obama is entering. He's turning the keys to the country over to Obama. We're going from a moderate left-wing socialist to an extreme left-wing socialist. Now you say, well, why are you saying left-wing socialist? Isn't that an oxymoron? No, they're a right-wing socialist like Adolf Hitler. You see, you don't understand that, but socialism runs the gamut from left-wing to right-wing. Bush was a sort of left-wing socialist. Obama's a far left-wing socialist. But, you know, the media had you believing that Bush was a conservative. I don't know where his conservatism is. He's done some good things. Alito being appointed, Roberts being appointed, saved the Second Amendment. I mean, I have to say that's a great thing he did. Probably he worked against his conscience on that one. But that's a great part of his administration. The rest, forget about it. He has flooded America with 5 executive orders in his first 3 days. You know, you should make a note of this. 5 executive orders in the first 3 days of office. Bush, no executive orders in the first 3 days. Clinton 1, GHW Bush 0, Ronald Reagan 0, Jimmy Carter 1, and Gerald Ford 0. Isn't that interesting? That the conservatives up there, the Republicans up there, did not issue any executive orders in the first few days of office. And here we have an interesting barometer. Bill Clinton issued 1. Jimmy Carter issued 1. Obama issued 5. This is just the beginning, my folks.
Oh, give him 100 days. Give him a chance.
Well, I don't think I have to wait 100 days, do you? The man passed 5 executive orders in less than a week, or in about 8 days. The man is trying to trash us with $1 trillion bill that your children's children will never get to pay back. No, my friends, I think I'm going to get even more strident, not less. What is shameful, my chinless friend from San Francisco, is the $1 trillion bailout bill. What is shameful, my friend, is a bailout bill that gives money to crooks, lobbyists, illegal aliens, Acorn, and people on welfare who pay no taxes. What is shameful, my chinless friend from San Francisco, is appointing a tax cheat to the post of Treasury Secretary. Shameful is breaking your own rules against hiring lobbyists 2 days after you make them, my chinless wonder. Shameful is closing Gitmo with no idea what to do with the killers in Gitmo. Shameful is spending $150 million on your coronation, my friend. Now here's the man who is the Attorney General of the United States, still marching around like he's an oppressed black man. Do you have any idea how disgusting this is? I think this man should be forced to resign. This man, as far as I am concerned, is so obsessed with race that he's not qualified to be Attorney General. Now, why are you afraid to talk about race when the racist in the Justice Department is not afraid to call you a coward? Didn't you think that Obama would put all of this behind him? I didn't. Not for 1 second did I think so. No. I knew this was coming. They want to stir up racial hatred in the country. And you know what? I'm not afraid to talk about race. Let's talk about it. Let's see. We have a black president. At least that's what he says he is, even though he's 50% white. We'll go along with the program. Then you got Eric Huss. You got a black president, a black attorney general, and it's still not enough. It's still we shall overcome. Now, when does it overcome already? When do I stop hearing this garbage? I'm sick of it. The stimulus deal has been reached. The gangsters have decided how to cut up the pie. It just happened minutes ago. I don't know that they voted it. I think they've agreed that they're going to vote on it now. The gangsters have just cut up the pie, and the number is $780 billion. $780 billion. You don't like what I say? It's too damn bad. You live in America. That's the object of freedom of speech. That's what the First Amendment says. You have to listen to what you don't want to hear? No. It says you have no control over what you don't want to hear. Then you don't live in America the day you say, I don't like what I hear, therefore I will kill it. You may as well move to Hugo Chavez's nation. Obama Motors from GM to OM in one fell swoop. So he's forcing a marriage upon Chrysler with Fiat. He's telling GM how to run their company. And he hasn't forced the unions to cut back on any of the benefits, including the grotesque health care benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, your very freedom is at stake right now. Pay very close attention to Michael Savage. Pay very close attention to what I am saying to you. We have learned today from the Washington Times that Big Sister Janet Napolitano, the head of so-called Homeland Security, is monitoring what she considers to be extremist right-wing groups in America. That would be you if you are against abortion. That would be you if you are against illegal aliens. That would be you if you have voted against homosexual marriage. That would be you if you are a returning veteran who can use weapons. I am not making this up. When I awoke this morning in the 7 o'clock range and went down to my computer, I turned on various websites. I go to the Drudge Report because it is the newspaper of today amongst anyone with a brain. You know that, and I know that. And it has some great, linkages. I was shocked, and I thought I was seeing things when it said that Michael Savage banned in England. I am again going to say to Jackie Smith, the so-called Home Secretary of the government of England, that unless you remove my name forthwith, unless you admit you made a mistake, and you send me a letter of apology, I will bring a major libel suit against you personally, and I will win. My attorneys have been in touch with attorneys in your nation, and they say you have committed serious libel. I'd like to talk about now the protests in Iran and where are the protests in the United States. Across Iran, people are rising up in protest against Ahmadinejad. The election was stolen by the Hitler of Iran, and people are now putting their lives on the line to demand justice. What happened? The internet and cell phone service in Iran shut down by the government. Demonstrators being shot and killed in the streets, but still, they go out and they protest. But here in the United States, there is nothing but silence. What do I mean? Last year, there was an election in which there were serious questions about fraudulent ballots from Acorn, voting by illegal aliens, and the very birth certificate issue of the candidate who won. We supposedly elected a president who was a previously unknown senator. He had no serious background or experience to be president. But after it, despite all of the questions about illegal aliens and fraudulent ballots and Acorn, no protests, no riots, no demands for an investigation into vote fraud, nothing but acquiescence here in America. If you think I'm going to talk about Michael Jackson, you are, well, you're right and you're wrong. One thing I'm going to say is this. I never listened to him. It's not my cup of tea, so to speak, that type of music. I realize there are millions of people who think he was a great man. He died with apparently $500 million in $500 million worth of debt. There's a point at which you got to start pushing back at this bull crap and say enough is enough with this race garbage. Take it and shove it. I don't care if you're the president of the universe. So I have the New Yorker in my hand, and the front flap says the real Michael Savage, Khalefasana on a shock jock's unexpected side. And I hear that he's been getting left-wing bloggers attacking him for being too fair to me. Imagine this. And by the way, if you're going to go to a town hall meeting, shout it out like a real American. Don't be afraid of the bagel woman from Brooklyn, Barbara Boxer. Don't be afraid of anything any of these fraudulent criminals say to you. Who the hell do they think they are? Who the hell do these senators think they are to tell the actual people you have no voice in this country? Who the hell do these people think they are to say that illegal aliens have a voice, but you, the voters and the taxpayers, don't? Who the hell do these gangsters think that they're talking to? You stand up and you shout it out, and you tell them to go to hell. You have a fascist dictatorship brewing in America. You say that's crazy? I say you're crazy. They are spying on Americans with emails. That is clear. They are trying to curtail conservatives in the broadcast media because we have succeeded based upon our opinions and our talents. And just as they're trying to shut down the town halls, as Michael Savage is sitting here before this microphone and you're receiving it on your radio, the vermin in the FCC put in by the communist Obama are trying to close down conservatives in the media under the guise of diversity. Just for historical reference, know that Michael Savage was the first on March 12, 2009 to point out this Van Jones story in the monologue From Brown Shirts to Green Shirts. And I expect no credit whatsoever from the hemorrhoid. So there it is. Obama is a liar. In fact, all through Obama's speech, I kept screaming at the TV, you liar, you. And when Joe Wilson screamed out, you're a liar, I felt like giving him a Presidential Medal of Freedom. All right, so Obama wins the Dynamite Prize, and you expect me to bash it, right? And you expect me to get angry and upset and say that they're a bunch of communist, leftist, socialist, anti-Americans who just gave one of their own another prize, and he's in great company with Yasser Arafat and Jimmy Carter. Well, I just said it, okay? Now can we move on? Yesterday's election results were a tsunami against Marxism. What do you think? I'm taking pleasure in knocking Obama? I mean, the fact of the matter is the guy looked like a puppet on a string last night. It was pathetic to watch, number one. And you saw at the end of the day that with all of the talk about him being a Marxist and the left, it's all rubbish. He is the stooge of the international bankers. The world is surrounded by Marxists who have hoodwinked you into believing that, A, there's global warming caused by mankind. We've told you that all of them, every last one of them, are using these fear tactics to try to serve you up with dictatorship.